Hi,
Hey, can you still hear me?
This is Tim Johnson and Barry Wilkin. Are you there, Brooke or Patrick?
Yes, I'm here. Brooke should be on the
Oh,
line as well.
yeah. I apologize. It's raining here in San Diego, and the system got shut down and all that. But we are up and going.
Excellent.
So I am going to change the presenter to who? Patrick or Brooke?
It'll be me, yes.
Okay. Okay. So it should. There we go. We can see your screen now.
Perfect.
Barry, do you want to say?
Okay. All right. Great. Well, listen, everybody, thank you for joining us again. This is part two of our Resolute Capital presentation. This morning, Patrick and Brooke will probably be in, I think Brooke will be involved in this anyway, but we wanted to bring you up to date today on how this program works, how the referral system works. Last week, Jason presented the whole program to us on the investment portfolios, on the 1 and 3 year plans through the oil and gas. But Resolute Capital is an outstanding company. We've done a lot of business with them over the years. And now that there's a new format on how to do this business and do it right and get paid correctly on a referral fee, we thought we should have Patrick introduce this whole program to everybody. So Patrick, I'll turn it over to you.
Great. Thank you so much. Like I said, my name is Patrick Lindenmeyer. I'm the educational partner here at Resolute Capital. And then we also have Brooke Nunes, who's our commercial contact for all of the advisors on the line. So really the two of
Hey,
us are
everybody.
able to assist with your business. My role is really from a product and kind of educational standpoint. And Brooke can help you on the close of business or working with clients that may have questions or want to talk to somebody from RCP. So it's great to sound like that Jason was able to go over a lot of the product information for you. And really the next step at working with Resolute Capital is to be able to receive a contract. Barry, is everybody contracted or are we not there yet on everybody on the line?
As a matter of fact, when we get done here today, Tim and I and Liz, who runs our, going to get I'll get an update on all those that are contracted and all those that we still need to.
Perfect. So if you are contracted, or if you're not, so you'll receive a contract from Resolute's Beacon Global Group. So Beacon Global Group is actually who does all of our contracting, who will pay you, kind of really where all the business comes through. And that's really Resolute's arm to work directly with us on this referral program. So once you actually get that contract and get that signed, that'll come via DocuSign. And again, if you have any questions, just reach out to me and I'll give you my contact information here at the end. But once that's signed, the next step is to sign up for our portal. And you can see here this address. This is the screen that it'll take you to. It's www.resolutecapitalpartners.com/BGG, as in Beacon Global Group. Once you sign the contract, you're instructed in the contract to come here, but you'll come to this, and Barry, I'm sure you'll bookmark this website so you can send this out to anybody that needs it. You can come here and it'll ask you if you're a new agent, you'll sign up and you'll click sign up. Or if you've already been with us or have done this step, you'll be able to log into your account. Once you're logged into your account, this is really going to be your home for information to be able to submit referrals, get contract information, or product information, as well as other educational materials and videos that really help you learn who we are and our products as well. So you'll click on your account once you're signed up, and again, something this will show up: your name, your email, your telephone number. That you're an agent. You'll be able to go over to this left-hand side here and say, the partner, the access granted, it's say partner BGG, and you can click on current opportunities. So if we go ahead and click on current opportunities, it'll bring you to our main page for the portal. So the first part's an introduction, but about halfway down here, or a third of the way down, you'll see the current opportunities that are there. And so I think Jason talked to you about our SEA 7, which is our equity project. and then our Choice Energy Holdings, which is our debt product. Barry, did he get into real estate at all?
No, he just got into Choice Energy Holdings and the C7.
Perfect. So those are by far our most popular products at Resolute Capital. But we also have a real estate product that has actually just been revamped, and we've put some new material out there as well. So let's go and look at just at our Choice Energy Holdings, because I think that that's probably where most of our agents start, with clients looking for that short-term income. So if you click on Choice Energy Holdings, this will bring you to basically all things for the debt product. So it'll have the one-page overview, the lender's flip book, your different options, and then as well as the sponsor video, which I'll touch on briefly here in a moment. So we'll go ahead and click on the one-page overview. And this is a brochure that you can download. You can send this out to a potential client or in a referral that you're looking to talk to about this offering. Again, it shows the 1, 2, and 3 year, what the interest rates are, what the yield is if you do the compounding versus the simple interest. And it kind of just goes through again that security flow that may have been touched on in the presentation. So this is a great piece to be able to have with you or be able to send out to a client. You also have the lender's flip book. And once you open this up, I think if you open it up for the first time, it'll ask you to put your name and email in. It's just so we can capture who is viewing the content. But this is going to be a 60-page doc. So if the client really wants to dive into the actual Reg D and the offering, we will have that all the fun legal docs there for their viewing, and that's in the flip book. So that's a great way if you want to do a deeper dive into the product. You have that at your fingertips as well. And again, scrolling down, we have the difference between the simple interest and then the compounding interest. So the simple talks a little bit about the dates, kind of an example, how the interest is paid and calculated, and when we start paying that, and then the compounding as well. The nice thing is so we have a sponsored video, and if I encourage everybody on here, if you haven't looked at this already, go take a look at it. Now that you've heard a little bit about our product from Jason, you can really meet the sponsor behind the projects. And that's something that we really try to focus on at Resolute, is being able to introduce you so it's not just some oil company in Dallas, but you actually get to meet these people. You get to see the video and kind of, really educate your clients on who we are and what we do and how we do it a little bit differently. So it's about a half-hour video. I don't think the sound is I don't think you'll be able to hear much of the sound here, but we'll see. Is that coming through?
No.
No, okay. So there's about a 30-minute video there.
Patrick, can that video be sent out via email to
absolutely.
That's
absolutely. So that's a client approved piece as well. And I actually have the link. So after this meeting, Barry, I'm going to send you a couple of handy links that you can forward to everybody on the webinar today. One will be the main page, the resolutecapitalpartners.com/BGG, which is where you can go to log in. And then I'll also send I think it's resolutecapitalpartners.com/homebound documentary, and we'll send that out as well, so you can actually view that video as well outside of the site. So we try to make that available to our clients so they can kind of get an idea of a little bit about the oil history in Texas, and then about the founder Stefan Toth, the president Ted Etheridge, and head of finance Pablo Cortez, to really kind of get to meet that executive team that is the sponsor for the oil and gas opportunities. So whether or not that's the debt or the equity, that video really applies for both. And that video is on the same for the equity holding page as well. From here, if it's qualified money, you can actually do a quick setup to get a new self-directed IRA account. So keep in mind, we can take qualified money. The minimums are all the same. It's still $50,000 from a product standpoint. So across the board, all of our minimums are $50,000. And then we also then have IRA money or non-qualified money. Let's just kind of look at it as, hey, it's non-qualified money. We're going to get going. So we can actually start that process. And this is how you would actually refer a client. So there's about 2 pages. We won't go through it all here, but the biggest thing to know is have some client information when you're going to sit down with them: driver's license, social security number. Those are the 2 that people tend to forget. But you can come in here, you can put it in as an individual lender, the vesting name. You can go through this again. Marketing partner name is your name, who's the referring agent, your email, the date, is it a joint account? And then the primary lender is their first name, kind of their personal information in here. Mailing address, again, you have to upload a copy of their driver's license. And then it goes into a little bit about, are they accredited? Again, all of our offerings are for accredited clients only. You'll come down and is that lender accredited based on one of those definitions? What the term is. So this is really the product information. So let's say they're going to do 100,000. They're going to do the 1-year term. And then would it be compounding or simple interest? You can create an account to save and log in, and then you click next. And then there's a couple of more questions to answer. So the referral process is really pretty easy. So depending on what product you want to go to, again, you'll go to that take action ready to lend, and that button is the same on all of our products. So for both equity, real estate, and our energy debt. And you can go through. I would say probably 9 times out of 10, and Brooke, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but most of the time agents are actually going through this this request for documents with the client. Most of the time they're not having the client do it themselves. It typically is a lot easier for the agent to kind of fill out that information. Once that information is submitted, that comes to us at Resolute, and that's what's going to trigger the DocuSign contract for that client to invest or lend in any of our products. That is also then what kind of kicks the referral fee to be paid. So we can get into the referral fee structure in a little bit, but that's what's going to basically say you've made that referral. So when we look at it that, hey, they're accredited and they're interested in lending, that's what's going to constitute as the referral. So going back, I'm just going to go back to current opportunities. So if you ever get lost kind of in the account, you can always click on that Your Account tab and go back to current opportunities and go back to the main page there. I'm going to touch on real estate really quickly. This is going to be a little bit longer. So the debt on oil and gas is 1, 2, and a 3-year. The real estate has a 3, 4, and a 5-year option, so a little bit longer. But we did put a video together as well. It's a little bit shorter. It is a 5-minute video, or just about 6 minutes, that touches on our different real estate holdings and kind of some of the projects that we're doing inside of our commercial real estate fund. So that video was a big hit last week when we debuted it on our company-wide webinar. Same thing though, again, you're going to see the 1 page, the flip book. You're going to see a kind of a consistent theme of how this is all laid out. So again, 1-pager, flip book, video, some loan options, and then again, need to set up an IRA or that take action ready to lend. So we're going to go back. So those are the different products. And again, there's a little snapshot here if you're looking at kind of the range of, what the terms are, what the rates are. We've got a nice just a little snapshot of those products right below. The other thing that we have on the site is when you look at the education. So there's a lot of tools that are available for you and your client to be able to self-educate and really be able to get access to as much information on our products as possible. So this is our RCP University course. And you can see the different courses. We've taken some of that 30-minute video and shortened it down into like just the science and engineering team or our executive team. So you could watch it as, little 4 or 5 minute clips here and there. But I encourage you to, at least the first time through, watch the whole thing. And then you can kind of go and see just the clips on just some specific areas that maybe you missed or want a refresher on. We also have some short videos on, finding and acquiring oil, mitigating our risks, kind of what our exit strategy is, what we do and how we do it. Again, I'm going to go back into this full course. And so we have a lot of different courses that are out there. So we have a few videos, ebooks, some white papers that are there. The terms and disclosure course is a great course to be able to, really kind of understand some of the terminology that we use and some of those definitions. It's a great way to understand or get a better understanding of UCC filings and how we put clients in a secured position. So there's a lot of information that's available at your fingertips. This explains water flood. So in our secondary recovery, this is kind of what we do in a lot of our oil projects right now, like on SEA 7, is a water flood type of property. So again, a lot of different courses. I think we have 18 different courses that are down here that you'll be able to look at. So we'll go back to current opportunities. And we'll kind of go back to our main page. So this is really going to be, both, when you send your client here via your unique link, they'll be able to create a login. They'll be able to see the same type of information that you do for the most part, at least on the product side. So this is going to be, your home. Get familiar with this site because there's so much information out there. You can really spend hours looking at this. But again, I would encourage you to start with that homebound 30-minute video. Barry, do you want me to get into the ins and outs of the referral contract and kind of how we pay and the compliance side of things?
Yeah, would you please? Because it's different than what the guys have been used to, and it'd be good to go over.
Great. Do you want me to pause here for any questions so far?
I think we have everyone on mute, and
okay.
They can type questions, and we don't have any yet.
Okay, great, perfect.
Hey,
so if there is anything, let me know.
Patrick,
go ahead.
I know in the past I've been down to the home office in a couple meetings, and I know in the past, even on some meetings, the agent was even brought in people that were interested as investors. Are you guys still planning to do any of that in 2019, or is that not available anymore?
As of right now, we don't have anything planned, but Brooke and I will let you know that when we do any energy universities or any other RCP events. I know that we will have some client events throughout the year. It just is a logistics thing if it's in Dallas or if it's in Reno or Tahoe. But usually we'll have some sort of an event where you can at least meet the team. So even if we don't get down to the homebound office, you'll usually get to at least meet Stefan or Ted or Pablo as they travel to some of our client and rep events throughout the country.
Yeah, I know we've had a number of meetings that we brought agents in Orange County and that, but like I said, I have been down in Texas a few times. Guys, and then I don't want to interrupt Patrick, but again, Patrick went over that little fact finder form. Guys, really take a look at this in depth because this is really unique and an advantage to you where you don't have to do a ton of paperwork. You just fill out that basic document, get it to Resolute, and then they'll do the rest on getting everything ready for your client for a DocuSign. So it's a easy way to go out and do business.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, so the way that, and that's a kind of a nice segue into what we're going to talk about from a compliance standpoint. We're not asking you to sell, and this may be a little counterintuitive or a little different than what we're used to from the insurance or the annuity side of the business, right? Where you're licensed, you can sell it, you can recommend it, you can really put, people in there and sell. And so we're asking you to, again, there's a little bit of a line here, but we're asking you to educate. And so in our contract, if you read it, you'll see, we're paying you for the referral. We're not paying you to sell. We're not paying you based on a transaction. We're paying you for that referral of that accredited investor. And they are really conducting then the sale between themselves and and Resolute directly. And that's where Brooke is allowed to, come in and Brooke can sell. She is a securities licensed advisor with Growth Capital. Brooke, do you want to touch on that real quick, maybe on how you can assist kind of from a selling standpoint?
Yes, of course, Patrick. Can you hear me? Sorry, I had a bit of trouble in the beginning with my audio.
We can. Thank you.
Great. Okay, great. So I am one of 3 commercial contacts at Resolute Capital. It is very likely with Barry that you will be assigned to me. And I am licensed via Growth Capital. So although I can't, onboard your clients and take them on as mine, I can help you hand in hand through the finish line. We as commercial contacts, we like to do also really high level sales. So come to me. I'll be available for if you want to brainstorm, if you would like to put together a client dinner or a client luncheon. We're available to come in, talk the product, answer questions, dive deep, and have those one-on-one sessions with your clients or group settings. That's what we are here for.
Perfect. So yeah, Brooke's available to, really assist you guys when it comes to, having those clients, whether it's dinners or lunches or, just one-on-ones or even a phone call. My role is going to be just with you, the advisor, to really kind of dive deep into product, right? I mean, I'm kind of the product encyclopedia. So I kind of help you on that side. Brooke can really help you with the actual business and getting those referrals in. And those clients then invested. So, again, we're not asking you to sell, we're asking you to educate. So you can absolutely tell clients about RCP and who we are and what we do. You can introduce them to offerings that, hey, maybe they're not aware of, right? There's a whole world of accredited investor offerings or these private placements that maybe their client can't get anywhere else. They can't get it from their stockbroker or their, insurance agent. But you can introduce them to it and you can educate them on the opportunity. You can't sell, but you can educate. And so part of that education process is showing them the offering, at least kind of explaining to them at a high level of what it is. You can fill out that form site to be able to request that doc if they're, again, interested in investing or lending to one of our products. And then you can also give them your unique link. So once you sign up a contract, you'll have a unique link. It'll be the same resolutecapitalpartners.com/BGG. And then there'll be some letters and numbers after it. And that's a unique identifier that identifies that client to you. So should you give that client your unique link, and again, we encourage you to do so because we want them to come on here and self-educate and see the opportunities that are out here. We want them to be able to see the videos, read through the docs, look at all the sales pieces that are out there for them to be able to kind of make that informed decision to invest or lend. But let's say they go in and they go to the site. They could easily, click on Choice Energy Holdings and elect to invest themselves and go through that process without you. And should that happen, that unique link is what ties them to you because, again, we don't do that direct business with the client. We are going to pay you and submit for that referral. So the way that we pay from a compliance side is that, again, we pay on the referral, not the sale. So we have developed a flat fee structure that starts out at $2,500 per referral that you make. So regardless if the count is $50,000 or $100,000 or $200,000, we'll pay you $2,500 for that referral, and then we'll pay upon renewals. Now we also have a multiplier should it be a longer term product. So that $2,500 is all based on the 1-year product. So if you go to 2 years and do the 2-year debt, it's $5,000 as a referral fee. If you go to a 3-year debt, it's $7,500 for that referral, right? So 2,500 times 3. So we do that again, and if you go out to the longer term on the real estate side, you can go up to 5 years. So it's 2,500 times 5. So we pay that as a flat fee. It's it's not based on whether or not the client completes the transaction or the size of the amount. And that's really kind of what the SEC looked at is that we don't pay variable transactional compensation to a non-securities licensed advisor. And so that's how we've set this program up to be able to pay in a compliant manner for a referral and not the transaction, right? Once you cross $1
Patrick,
million,
if I could add really fast
please go
onto
ahead.
that. And all equity deals is a 3 times multiplier straight up on the upfront. And each quarter, so for example, say that you submitted a $500,000 deal. That $2,500 is just your starting basis for that quarter. If you submit 500,000, two $500,000 deals, a $200,000 deal, your average is going to be very high. Therefore, the following quarter, that 2,500 will significantly increase. That 2,500 is assuming an average deal of $86,000. And we came to that number based off our past relationships. So that's just our starting basis points. You have the opportunity, and we have several agents where their referral fee is, $3,500 just on, and then with a 3 times multiplier with every equity deal. So there is huge opportunity for growth there also. Thank you, Patrick. I'll let you take back over.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Brooke touched on that we basically have kind of that starting point. But once a contractor, once, the client or the reps that we're working with, they cross $1 million in rolling 12-month referrals, they go on to what's called, they get a contractor fee as well. So we would also then pay a monthly stipend, almost think of it as a salary. It's still 1099, but you receive 2 forms of compensation. You'll receive your referral fee, but you'll also receive a contractor fee that's paid every single month. And again, every 90 days, we look at that, or, once a quarter. And so if your book is growing, there's basically 2 levers, right? Or think of it as a teeter-totter. The higher deal volume you have, so if your average case is 50 or 86 or 100, right? The higher that number is, the higher your referral fee goes. The higher your book volume is, so if your book is $1 million or $2 million or $3 million or 1.5 or 2 and then 2.5, and you're growing that book, the higher the contractor fee is. So don't look at the 2,500 in kind of in a vacuum and just look at that as, hey, if I do one deal and it's this amount and it's only 2,500. There is ways for, again, we want to be able to work with advisors that are, in that, $1 million range, that have that book. And so again, can be reoccurring revenue. So if it's just a 1-year deal, come next year when they go to renew that 12-month note, we would then pay that $2,500 again. So it would again be able to have reoccurring revenue. So there's a lot of opportunity on the growth side with us, that we want long-term relationships. We want to work with advisors that are, continually working with us. And we feel we've incentivized or created a program that incentivizes such.
We do have a couple questions. Can I give those to you now?
Yeah, that's always where we start to get questions. Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. First one is, they ask, what information can I place on my personal website, if anything? And also, do you have any state restrictions?
So personal website, Brooke, do you have any idea? I mean, again, you're with more on the broker side. I mean, I think that's something that we would have to run by our legal counsel with Jackie Kuiper.
Right. So
Maybe
this is a Reg D offering, and almost nothing can go on your website. You can be very cryptic. We have resources on our website that are open to the public. Anything that is not behind the firewall, you are welcome to also have on your website as well. So for example, we have an oil and gas investing 101. I really like this piece. Tom wrote this and used this at a course at Harvard and both Stanford on raising capital. This is a very straightforward piece, and it was written for an educational classroom. It's not anything to sell. So that is a good starting point for website traffic to just kind of entice people. Anything that has returns or offering information or fund names cannot be on your website.
And then, so that's perfect. And so and again, just go to resolutecapitalpartners.com. And you can see kind of what information is there that's not behind a firewall or doesn't allow for a login. And as far as state restrictions, we can take money from every state. There are a few states, then again, just let me know. There's a couple out East Coast, New York, I think Massachusetts, that we haven't filed in yet, but if we get enough interest, we'll go file in those states.
Exactly.
Okay.
So since this isn't direct selling, there are no exemptions. If we were to be paying variable comp and you were to register with a broker dealer, then those exemptions would come into play. But by this referral contract, it is open to all 50 states.
Okay, thank you. Next question, just to verify, it's accredited investors, not qualified investors, right?
That is correct. At this point, all of our products are for accredited investors only.
Okay. And I think you had answered this before. Someone asked, what is the renewal? And I believe it's the same as when you started, right?
It would be. So if are we talking about compensation?
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you're still at the 25, let's say you don't do enough of this business, you have a handful of accredited investors, but this really isn't your core business. If you're just at that $2,500 level, yes, if you do a 1-year deal, it's $2,500 up front, $2,500 every time they renew, assuming that you're still on that base level contract. If you are on a higher contract or a lower, depending on that number of that contractor fee, it's going to be whatever your renewal number is for the referral. If you do a 2-year deal, you're being paid the $5,000 up front. You don't get anything on the second year of that contract, but once the 2 years are up and then they want to renew either into a 2-year or any other one, then the referral would kick back on. So if they go a 2-year, you get paid $5,000. Go to another 2-year at the end of that term, another $5,000 would apply.
Okay.
And another thing I might add really fast on the multi-year deals, which is kind of cool. So Patrick mentioned we have the $1 Million Club, and once you've written $1 million of business, you start to receive a contractor fee every month with us. And when you write multi-year business, you do get paid on the upfront. But let's go back to that $500,000 example. That $500,000 goes into your volume for year 1 and year 2. So you're already halfway locked in for the next 2 years, that contractor fee every single month. So there is a bunch of incentive to write higher deal volumes for longer terms.
Okay. Hey, Brooke, real quick, we had a question. How do you calculate the contractor fee?
Contractor is based on the volume.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so at $1 million, so I'll give you a quick example, and I don't want to dive too heavy into it, but again, I can have this conversation. There is a webinar on compensation once you're contracted. So the way that it would work, so just starting out at $1 million, your contractor fee on a monthly basis would be $1,974. So at $1,974,000 or $1,974, if we looked at that over a 12-month period, you're almost looking at just shy of $24,000 a year, just based on that volume. Your referral fee is then, again, assuming $86,000, your referral fee is at $2,044 per referral, in addition to that contractor fee. And again, the levers that drive those up, the higher your book. So if that book goes from 1 million to 2 million, take that 1974 and double it.
Okay, thank you. One last question, I believe, going back to your website and what the agent can put on theirs. They just wanted to confirm, so they can put a link to your website on their website?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Let me just say to be more than cautious, if anybody wants to put out materials or put stuff in a seminar selling package or put stuff on the webinar, I'd still like to have you run that by either through us or through, and then we would forward it on to RCP or or even I'll get everybody Brooke's email that we could forward it to her and she could get it to the compliance people. But we do want to remain and be careful on remaining compliant and not overextend ourselves to where we shouldn't be.
Yes, I am happy to give you guys my email and to take lead on the compliance section. If it is over my head, I can of course take it to Jackie, but I'm happy to be your first stop. So my email, I can send it to you guys though, everybody who's attending, but it's straightforward. It's just Brooke, BROOKE, at rcp-ltd.com.
All right, well, great. Patrick and Brooke, thank you so much for helping us out here. Tim and I and Liz will get together, and everybody, we will get contracts out to you if you haven't gotten it, and then we will want to talk to you if you are contracted, because believe me, you want to get into the website here of Resolute, because there are some great training videos, great answers to a bunch of the products that they have available, and the more you know, the better off you are. And with this new system, it's an easy way to get your clients into doing some investing, and all you got to do is just do the referral. It's very, very easy. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you. And real quick, I'll let you, my email is the same. It's just patrick@rcp-ltd.com. And Barry, I'll send you a link or an email with a few links that you can send out to everybody.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank
I
you all.
appreciate it.
Thank you.